In this video, we're going to be installing a new power cable for my oven vent. As you can see, the old power cable's over there, but it's pretty beat up and I don't think it's going to reach our new vent positions. Our first step is going to be to remove our oven. So let's do that now. So now that my appliance is out of the way, I'm going to work on removing this portion of my old power cable. It's pretty easy. There's two staples holding it in, but to get them out, I found that a pair of pliers and a BFS really works well. So I'm going to get you in here close so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so here we are at the power cable. Wow. I don't know if you can see it or not, but we have two staples holding it in. I have my pliers and my big freaking screwdriver right here. I've already gone down in the crawl space and cut the breaker, so there's no power to this cable. So let's go ahead and pry this thing apart. I'm just getting my screwdriver underneath that staple, pulling it out. Same thing on the top. Easy enough. All right, so this is where it gets fun. I have to track down the other end of this power cable, which means I have to get in the attic. And I hate the attic. So, anyways, the other end of this power cable is somehow connected to my lighting circuit. So I believe it's going to be connected to one of the fixtures that's above me. I know you can't see it, but there's 3 light fixtures above me, and this power cable has to be somehow connected to one of them. Hopefully it's connected to this one right above me, because that's probably the one that's easiest to access. Hopefully it's not connected to the one over the old sink, because that one is extremely difficult to access. So I'm going to get up in the attic now. Hopefully I don't die, and I'm going to try and get this thing disconnected safely. It looks like that power cable is connected to the light fixture that was over my old sink. So I got to figure out how to get back in there and cut it and then remove it from the fixture and then pull it down from the kitchen. All right, I just got out of the attic, and it turns out that that cable goes into the attic and over to the light fixture that's above my old sink, which is kind of worst case, but I was able to reach over and cut it where it was on top of the insulation. So I should be able to just go ahead and pull on this and pull that right out of the attic. Now I need to take apart the light fixture over here and 1, disconnect the old cable, and then 2, pull that old cable through and get it out of the way. All right, see if I can get this thing disconnected. So what's going to happen when I unscrew that? I don't know. Let's see. Oops. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. That's done really well. More electrical tape. Okay, so what do we have? All right, so upon further inspection, I realized that my old power cable was not connected to the light above where my sink was. It's actually connected to the light in my breakfast nook. So I've gone ahead and removed the rest of that old power cable that was up in the attic. I also disconnected it from the light fixture in my breakfast nook. So that's done with. Now we're going to figure out where to connect our oven vent's power cable so that it can actually receive power. And here in the kitchen, I have a couple relatively simple options. One is the circuit that my refrigerator's on. The other is the circuit that my stove is going to be on. And the third is this electrical box right here. I'm going to choose to connect my oven vent to this circuit here. As of right now, the only thing being serviced by this box is the 2 outlets you see here. I do have an additional cable that's not connected in here running down to the basement. That's going to provide power to my kitchen island once I have it installed. So now that I know where I'm connecting my power cable, now I need to figure out how to get my power cable from the box to where its final location is going to be. I believe the bottom height of the oven vent when it's installed is going to be 66 inches. The way I got that is my oven is 36 inches tall, and then the minimum or the maximum height from the top of the cook surface of the oven to the bottom of the oven vent is supposed to be 30 inches. And I have to account for the floor, which is a quarter inch, so basically nothing. But also the height that I measured from my oven, I wasn't accounting for the metal pieces that sit on top that increases your cook surface. So I think the cook surface on my oven is actually probably closer to probably about 38 if I had to guess. So I think if I assume that my wire is going to be roughly 66 inches off the unfinished floor, and then give myself maybe about 2 or 3 inches error on the high side, I should be good. So I think what I'm going to do is run my cable, obviously, out of the box up. And instead of going all the way up to 66 inches to drill my hole, I'm going to come up about maybe like 12 inches from the box. There's a staple there, so let me go about 10 inches from the box. I'm going to put a mark at 10 inches, and then, so my cable's going to come up. I'm going to have it stapled in this 2x4 on the left side. It's going to come through a hole here. Then I'll probably bring it straight across. Okay, so up here, and then another hole in line with this one. Should be about right there. And then I'll put a staple in it on this side and then run the extra up here. And that way when I install my drywall, I'll have a little bit of wiggle room. So you guys missed it, but I went ahead and drilled my holes in my studs here. I put a hole, well, first of all, I used a 1/2-inch drill bit because I'm using 12-2 Romex, and I found that 12-2 Romex pretty much fits perfectly through a 1/2-inch hole. So I put a hole through this stud, as you can see, and a hole through this stud, as you can see. I did it roughly about 10 inches above my electrical outlet here, just for, because that seems like where it should go. Anyways, I went downstairs, cut the power to this outlet. So let's go ahead and pull this outlet out. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right. So there's that. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the cable I was talking about earlier that's going to provide power to my kitchen island once it's installed is just coiled up in the back of my electrical box there. So I'm actually going to remove this outlet altogether. And the reason for that is because when I put up my drywall, it's going to be easier for me to cut out the hole for the box if the outlet's not there. All right. All right, easy enough. So now that my outlet's out of the way, these cables are just going to tuck back up in there, and I'm not going to turn this power back on until after my drywall's up and I have reinstalled my outlet. At that point, well, prior to reinstalling the outlet, I'm going to connect my ovens, whatever we're doing here, vent hood to the circuit. So let's go ahead and run the cable for my oven vent. I'm just gonna take a flathead and punch out one of the holes in the back of the box so I can get my cable through it. All right, now, here I have my 12-2 Romex. I don't know if you can see it or not. You should be able to. It is 12 gauge and there's 2 strands in it, a white strand and a black strand. There's also the ground, but that doesn't count as one of the strands. All right, so the way that I found is the easiest for me anyways to run electrical wire and make sure I don't cut too much off or minimize waste is to just run it from one side of your circuit to the other side. So, and then get it about where it's gonna be. So I guess I want about, what about maybe 8 inches sticking out of the box? Let me try and get you guys over here a little closer. Hopefully you guys can see that now. So let me give myself a little bit more than that. I'm gonna bend it down here. And then that's gonna be plenty. So before I bend it too much here, I ought to, because I need to feed it down through that hole. So let me pull a little bit back. Start feeding it down through that hole before I stuff too much through. Okay, I'm gonna put a bit of a bend on it towards you guys, so that when I fish it through the hole, the wires go towards the front of the box, which is gonna make it easier for me to grab it, theoretically. Let's see. All right, can you guys see that? I'm just fishing this through. And I'm gonna leave about 8 inches or so, not 8 inches, maybe 8 inches sticking out of the box. And that right there should be plenty for our application. So I'm gonna bend it about right there at a 90 degree. And then I'm gonna put a staple in it. Do I want it turned like that? That's the question. I guess it has to turn regardless of how I install it. So let me, well, first of all, let's go ahead and cut it, I guess. So this is gonna bend over here 90 degrees up. All right, so this is gonna bend about 90 degrees up. And where did we say our vent was gonna be? About 66 inches, which is roughly around here. But I'm gonna give myself a little bit extra. So 66, let's say I staple it right at 66, which is gonna be about there. Maybe give myself about that much. Let me just verify this real quick. Last thing I want to do is rush and cut the wrong thing. And then waste a bunch of my cable. All right, so 66 inches is about right there. So that's going to be where I put my staple to secure my wire. It's right at 66 inches. And then I'm going to leave myself a little bit, I'm going to leave myself probably about 1.5 feet extra wire. Just in case I need it. All right. So 66 was about here. And then I'm going to give myself about 2 feet or so, because it's going to have to come over here and then out to the front. So yeah, I'm going to cut it about right there. And that should be plenty. So now let's go ahead and staple these cables. So I got these little things. I don't know what they're called, but November Mike cable staples, wood 1/2 inch. 13 millimeter, quantity of 100. So we're going to use those to secure this cable here. All right. And I think I said I want to do one at about 66 inches, which is here. Do I need one right there? Yeah, why not? All right, looks pretty good on this side. Let me turn you around and get you on the other side. Actually, before I do that, can you see there where I installed my cables? Cool. I guess on this side I only need one, but I can use more down there. All right. Well, that one didn't go as planned. All right, let's try this one. First one I put in here went in crooked. So let's get that out of here. All right, that should be fine. Now for the time being, all I'm gonna do is take and roll this up and stuff it in my box. I'm gonna take and stuff these back up in here. Now remember, there's no power to any of the cables in this box, so there's no risk of it catching on fire between now and when I put the drywall up. So that's going to wrap up today's video. As you can see, it was relatively simple. The hardest thing was removing the old power cable out of the attic and the light fixture. Actually running this cable as easy as could be. But I do want to remind you guys, I'm not an electrician, and this is not necessarily a how-to video. I'm just filming the work that I'm doing to renovate the house. So I personally feel comfortable doing this kind of work, but if you don't, hire a licensed electrician or a professional. So that wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.